Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday. It's the 23rd day of May 2023, 5/23/23. I hope you're safe and healthy today and that your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders every day saving lives, along with those that pick up garbage for us, to keep streets, sidewalks, places clean and disease free. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, sex slavery, prostitution, child prostitution. Double curses. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things. And double curses on the perverts who create the demand for these things, from which other perverts create the supply. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless, mostly children, in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, some of y'all gonna be mad at me. Some of y'all gonna be mad. There's always some of y'all that are mad at me, but that comes with every crowd, right? But some of y'all gonna be mad at me for what we're gonna talk about today. You see, first of all, before I go on, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets have made the NBA Finals for the first time in their history. They were one of, I think it was, I want to say 4 teams that came over from the ABA in the merger back in '76. It was Indiana, San Antonio, Denver, missing one. Indiana, San Antonio, Denver. Oh, and the Nets. The Nets came over as well. And now, as of this, with this situation, all 4 of those teams have made at least one NBA Finals. So Indiana made one. I forgot. I think they lost to Shaq and Kobe and them. The Nets also lost to Shaq and Kobe and them. Made one when Jason Kidd was in his prime. We know San Antonio's been an extremely successful organization, and then now there's the Denver Nuggets. And so congratulations to them. Congratulations on their team. Congratulations to the Joker, who gets to his first finals, who is also MVP of the Western Conference playoffs. And probably I would have to favor them to take the whole thing. I believe Miami's going to be in the finals, and we'll congratulate them when it's time. But what a job Eric Spoelstra has done, along with Mike Malone. They've done a tremendous job in those 2 teams. So congratulations to them. And what they do have in common, as we know, neither of them have a big 3. I mean, really. They got players that they either drafted and developed or they signed as free agents strategically to get them in this position. They both have culture. They both have developed over time. Now, Denver was very fortunate because they were able to obtain, I think in the second round, a generational talent in Jokic. He's a generational player. And so obviously, one of the greatest. He's going to be top 50 in the NBA history. He's already 2-time MVP. So, and it could have been MVP this year and got their Western Conference MVP. And once they win this ring, he's going to be a legend. So they got him, and then they surrounded him with high IQ players, that can play defense and play sound basketball, stick together, and win basketball games. And they got a defensive-minded coach that comes out of the Pat Riley tree with Tom Thibodeau and Jeff Van Gundy. So they did a good job, man. And here come the Heat also. So congratulations to them. Now, talking about the Don, Leon Rose. Now, with him, we watched him over 3 years now. We know he is cheap. He likes to get the most talent for the cheapest price. He hired Brock Aller as his capologist. Smart move. If you have any semblance, with rare exceptions, if you have any semblance of success in the NBA, you're going to eventually bump up against the cap. Because success means you got good players, and good players get paid, And so because of that, you're eventually going to have cap issues. So then the more successful you are, the more expensive it becomes. Okay. And that's why, like, for example, the Golden State Warriors have a massive payroll, over $200 million payroll because they have won 4 championships. And those 4 championships have in common Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson. Okay. And so you're paying them. Then you went and got a Wiggins. You got to pay him. And so and then you got your ancillary pieces you drafted like Jordan Poole, and you got Moody, pieces that you drafted, and then you're still developing Kuminga, and you're still developing. So eventually, it's going to cost you money. Now, if you're winning championships, you don't mind that because the cost of the team is more than offset by the revenue you generate by being an NBA champion. So that's an extreme scenario. But what you don't want is you don't want to be paying luxury taxes, and you don't want to be paying $200 million payrolls if you're not a champion, like the Nets was just doing with Kyrie Irving and Durant, or like the Lakers, with LeBron and AD, with other players. But you're taking about 80 million of your payroll for 2 players in both of these cases. And so unless you're winning a championship, you don't want to do that. Now in LeBron's case, it's a little bit different because he is a phenomenon both on the court and off the court. Like, he's not Michael Jordan in terms of off the court sales, but nobody is. But he is up there. He generates a lot of income and revenue for a team just simply by wearing that uniform. Okay. And so he's an exception. Plus, even at his advanced age, here they were in the Western Conference Finals. So that's what you look for. And Lakers got decisions to make, but that's them. For the most part, you don't want to overspend on your way to winning. You want to win as cheaply as you can. And then when you have to actually spend the money, you want that move to be a championship move, to open a championship window for you. The Knicks are right there right now. The Knicks are at the door of opening the championship window. When I say open the championship window, that means you're a threat for the conference finals, which means you're a threat for the finals. Okay, and the Knicks are right there, 2 games away from going to the conference finals this year. Obviously, is no slight on them to lose to the Miami Heat, because here's Miami going to the finals, right? So Miami has actually stunned the whole NBA, but there's nothing negative about the Knicks losing to them. And actually, the Knicks did better against them than Boston. The Knicks went 6 games. Boston looked like it's going to get swept. So the Knicks did better than Boston. So the next move for the Knicks must be strategic. It has to be strategic. You don't just be giving away a bunch of players because it fits well on paper. You need a move that's going to get you to the ECF. Okay? That's what you need. And you need to make that move so that it fits with the culture. It fits with the team. The flow is right. And the money's got to be right. Okay? So that is why when somebody talks about a Jaylen Brown, and we're talking about a $290 million nut, you better be sure Jaylen Brown's going to get you to the finals. Because otherwise, you just messed up your payroll and you didn't get there. It's a very risky move. All of these are risky moves, y'all. Okay? Which is why I like the KP move. I'll come back to KP and Grant and Siakam, because you can get those guys in that $30 million range for Julius Randle and not kill yourself and still open the championship window, in my view. All 3 of those guys will open the championship window for the Knicks, okay, with the current team that they have. So this next move I'm going to talk about is a Leon-like move. It's not sexy. And this is what you look at when you look at Leon Rose. This first full year, they bring in Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton. Okay, at the deadline, they bring in Derrick Rose. Very cheap, non-sexy moves, and they get to the 4th seed. This past year, they really sat Evan Fournier. They let Kemba Walker go. No pun intended. They getting Josh Hart. Everybody's talking about these big moves. They got Josh Hart at the deadline. Here they go 5th in the East and into the 2nd round. So it's his MO to go low cost, non-sexy, but effective. Okay, that's what he does. He has not swung for a what Mark Byrne would say a blockbuster deal yet. That doesn't mean he won't do it, but I'm gonna tell you right now two things we know. If he does do it, number one, you all can rest assured, which is why I call him the Don. He's not gonna get ripped off. So yes, he could deal with Masai Ujiri. He could deal with Danny Ainge. And at the very least, he'll just end up walking away from the table. Because one thing you know about the Don, if you don't know me by now, you ain't never going to know me. He ain't getting ripped off. Okay, so this ain't Glenn Grunwald. Right? This ain't that. This ain't Scotty Sterling. This ain't that move. Okay, this is a dude that knows what he's doing. So we're very good with that. And then he got the capologist of all capologists and Brock Aller with him. He got talent evaluators with him, like Walt Perrin. He knows what he's doing. Scott Perry knows what he's doing, okay? So we're not getting ripped off. Number two, it's going to get the most bang for his buck, okay? He's going to get the most bang for his buck. Now, this move that we're getting ready to discuss would predicate Obi Toppin starting. And I've been doing most of the moves when I'm talking about Randall being pushed or moved out and telling y'all it's for fit because he doesn't fit. I'm trying to get Obi some more minutes. If not starting, at least get him 20, 30 minutes a game. And as I mentioned, like with a KP, he would start at least 20, 30 games. And so you're going to get him the experience. You're going to make full use of his talent. And you got him cheap. Okay, at least for the next season, you got him cheap. Okay, so that is a Leon-like move. Here goes something even more cost effective. The Brooklyn Nets. I was going to say New York Knicks. The Brooklyn Nets. Okay. All of us, well, I can't speak for all Knicks Nation, but myself and a lot of y'all really high on Mikal Bridges. Okay, really high on Mikal Bridges. And for good reason. The young man is coming into his own. He's getting into his prime. He's another Villanova product. He knows how to play NBA basketball. He's a very high-level defender, been all defense in the NBA already. 7-foot wingspan, now creative offensively as well. And you put him with a Brunson. If he was to be in RJ's place, which I'm not advocating, but I'm saying if he was, you put him with a Brunson and Grimes. Yes, we could go to the finals, even with Julius. Okay, that could happen. It's not going to happen. The Nets are not going to. They're going to build around, as any smart GM would do. You get a kid like that, you build around him. Okay, you build around him. So what are you going to do? So the Nets are hamstrung in a way because of Ben Simmons' contract. They got about $80 million they got to pay him over the next 2 or 3 seasons, I think. Right now, I know this year, he's owed about $78 million. And so you got him, he's being paid $38 million this coming season. Let me see here. Yeah, he's being paid $38 million this coming season, $40 million the following season. So you got 2 more seasons of him. Now, if I'm Sean Marks, and if you were Sean Marks, you're not going to be able to trade him. Nobody wants him. Okay, that y'all talking about Julius Randle. Julius Randle is in way more demand than Ben Simmons. Nobody wants him. So you're stuck paying him, and he's hamstringing your cap. So what you want to do, you want to try to get the most out of him that you can. If you can get him his back apparently or his healed or whatever, if he's physically okay and he just need mental health, you need to give him all the support all you can because you're not going to be able to trade him. So you got to try to get his value up at the very least, if not help him, because he's got talent. I remember him on Philly. This kid could play. Something happened. Maybe it was the Kardashian he was messing with. I don't know. But something happened and it flipped and then it just all went south. But Ben Simmons could play ball. He was all NBA before. So he could play. And yeah, he can't shoot, but he could do everything else with the basketball. Dribble it, pass it, rebound it. IQ is there. So he could play ball and he knows how to get to his spots. Even though he can't shoot, he knows how to get to his spots. So I would try to make use of him. Plus, he's going to be 27 this year. He's young. So you're going to have to work with him and build around him. Now with that in mind, you're going to keep Mikal Bridges as well. And then you got a nice young pieces at the 5 spot. in Claxton. You got a nice young piece at the 5 spot, and you got a backup piece on top of that. So, if you're Brooklyn, what would you think if I sent you Julius Randle to pair? He's the power forward with McCall being in your small forward. You have Ben Simmons, and now you got Spencer Dinwiddie. What if I sent you Emmanuel Quickly? And what do I want from you? Now, this is going to sound crazy to y'all, but hear me out. I want Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson. I want Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson. I can Cam Johnson's due to it for a contract. I would sign him with enough money. Between Finney-Smith has one more year left on his deal at $14 million. Julius is about $28-29 million. I bring Cam back for about 14, sign and trade, and then I'd have both of them, and I'm sending IQ and Julius to Brooklyn. Brooklyn gets a starting power forward that's all NBA to pair with Claxton and Bridges. They get Emmanuel Quickly as their starting point guard. They got Ben Simmons now. They still got Patty Mills. They still got Joe Harris. They still got pieces. They still got Deron Sharp. They still got pieces. Cam, what's that boy's name from LSU? I forgot his name. Cam Thomas. They still got pieces they can develop and work around that. Because Brooklyn is not really interested in rebuilding as much as they're interested in retooling. That's a difference. Retooling means we take a half step back, but we feel like we get the right pieces, we could go forward. So that's why I'm mentioning this. Now, what would this do for the Knicks? You start Obi Toppin. Your bench is now Isaiah Hartenstein, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, and Deuce, and Hart. You got Hart too. You still got Hart. So you got all of these guys. Plus you starting Obi Toppin. You got Mitch Rob, Obi, RJ, Grimes, as well as, of course, Jalen Brunson. To me, that's a better team. It's a cheaper team because you know how Don gonna do. Dorian Finney-Smith's on an expiring deal, and then you're gonna probably sign Cam Johnson to 4 years, but the fourth is going to be a team option. So you're still in good financial shape. You just sent out Julius Randle. You got Obi Toppin still on his rookie deal for another season, and you can extend him, and that extension won't take effect until the following season. You might even be able to extend him now that you got him and you're going to start him, 4 years, $60 million. That'd be like a Mitch Rob deal. So now you got Mitch Rob at 60. You got RJ at 1 something, Brunson at 1 something. Grimes is still on his rookie deal. So now you got your real cost control. And in my view, you just made your team better. You just made your team better because you got a high level defender and 3-point shooter in Dorian Finney-Smith. He's not a creative guy off the dribble, but he's a high-level defender. He's bigger, stronger Reggie Bullock 2.0. That's what he is. He's stronger Reggie Bullock. He's not going to kill you off the dribble, but off the bench as a shooter and the high-level defender, you got him right there. Okay? And then you got Obi, who I really believe, and you got to believe in, to do this deal I'm talking about, you got to believe in Obi Toppin. And I do. I have complete confidence in Obi Toppin. I really believe that if you give this young man 30 minutes a game, by midseason, he's a 2010 guy, and better ball movement, better defense, better awareness, and of course, he's going to get you some easy buckets because you got to watch him because he can run the floor, and Brunson, they'll be looking for each other. So I'm thinking this is a move that helps both teams. It's not a sexy move, but it's a very good, it's a Leon type move. It's a Leon type move. If Julius really likes New York so much, he gets to stay in New York, but now he's in Brooklyn. Okay, IQ gets a team to run, starting point guard. Okay, and so I would do that. I would look at that. That to me, that's a possibility. I don't know. It would take some nuts to do it. I ain't gonna front. It would take some gonads to do this because you're sending away an all NBA player. But when you look at it in totality, you're getting a better team. And if you can look at Denver and if you could look at the Heat, what you're looking at is teams. Yes, they got focal points, and so did the Knicks. Denver got the Joker. Miami has got Jimmy Butler. The Knicks have got Jalen Brunson. We got a focal point, okay? A focal point at the point guard position. All right. And then to me, I'm some of y'all still sleeping on Grimes. When y'all yelling about shooting, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm very confident that Quentin Grimes is going to be Allen Houston 2.0. He needs more touches. If you give him more touches, let him get 15 shots a game, you're going to get 20 a game from him. Okay? On efficiency. He has the talent to be a 50, 40, 90 guy, to me. Okay? And I knew that when he was coming out of Houston. I still feel that way. He has the talent to be a 50, 40, 90 guy. Plus, high level, all league level defense. So when you had the defense of Grimes, the defense of Finney Smith and Cam Johnson, with Deuce. I mean, with Deuce, yeah, with Mitch Rob, with Cam, with all Hartenstein. I like this team. I like this team. Okay, it's not sexy. Some of y'all gonna trip about Julius going across the river. I'm past that. Like, I don't even know if the Nets or the Knicks even give a crap about that. Everybody's trying to improve their team. Where their guy that they got to send out goes, they don't care. They really want to improve their own team. This improves both teams. You get Sean Mark gets a power forward, all NBA power forward, plus a starting point guard in place of, because Dinwiddie really, to me, Quick should start. Dinwiddie is best coming off the bench, and he's really good coming off the bench. So you bring that, you start Ben Simmons at the two guard, who's really a power forward style dude. Him and Julius may clog a little bit, but Ben Simmons is going to be more under the basket. But I don't know what else to do with him. And then you still got Dinwiddie if you need to start him. And you still got Royce O'Neal. You could start him also. So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Ben Simmons is a problem for them, but that's their problem. But if you do this deal for the Nets, to me, you get Julius. Let's say it's Royce O'Neal and IQ. It's Julius, Royce O'Neal, IQ, Claxton, Bridges. You got a nice team. You got a nice team, man. You got a nice team. You got Day'Ron Sharp still. You still got Seth Curry. You still got, you got some shooting coming off the bench. You still got Dinwiddie. So I would look at that if I'm the Knicks. If I'm the Don, it's like I said, it takes some boldness because you get howls from people talking about trading Julius Randle for that. But I would do it. And my team would be better. Okay, my team would be better. Anyway, and Dorian Finney-Smith is another player that Brunson knows. That's very familiar playing with him. Okay, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at today. A low-cost, non-sexy move that makes the Knicks a better team. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I know you will. Anyway, enjoy your Tuesday. Shalom.